Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at the WHO's website, and we want to understand the key facts and information about arsenic. Is it dangerous? What does it do? And how can it affect your water? So first, what is arsenic? It's naturally present at high levels in groundwater of several countries. It is highly toxic in its inorganic form. Contaminated water used for drinking, food preparation, irrigation of food crops poses the greatest threat to public health from arsenic. So it is in fact dangerous. We've talked about a lot of heavy metals on this channel. Arsenic is one of the dangerous ones, like lead, like mercury. Also, long-term exposure to arsenic from drinking water and food can cause cancer and skin lesions. And it has been associated with cardiovascular disease and diabetes in utero, and early childhood exposure has been linked to negative impacts on cognitive development and increased death in young adults. So it can kill you, and it is harmful for children. There really isn't any health benefits to this. And also to note, the most important action in affected communities is the prevention of further exposure by arsenic or provision of a safe water supply. So, how can you be exposed to it? Well, first, drinking water and food. The greatest threat to public health from arsenic originates from contaminated groundwater. Inorganic arsenic is naturally present at high levels in groundwater of a number of countries, including Argentina, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Chile, China, India, Mexico, Pakistan, and the United States of America and Vietnam. So it is a problem here in the U.S. Just because it's a problem in other countries, it's something to take a look at here too. Also, drinking water, crops irrigated with contaminated water, and food preparation with contaminated water are the source of exposure. So fundamentally, it's coming from water. Even crops that you may eat has to come from contaminated water, and food prepared with contaminated water. And that includes fish, shellfish, meat, poultry, dairy products, cereals can also be dietary sources of arsenic, although exposure from these foods is generally much lower than compared to exposure through contaminated groundwater. Seafood arsenic is mainly found in its less toxic organic form. Now, methylmercury is something to watch out for in seafood, but keep note that even though, yes, there can be arsenic in food, generally the problem is coming from contaminated groundwater. So what can it do to your health? There are some acute effects, such as vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and these are followed by numbness, tingling of the extremities, muscle cramping, and death in extreme cases. So it can kill you. And the first symptoms of long-term exposure of inorganic arsenic, for example, through drinking water and food, are usually observed in the skin and include pigmentation changes, skin lesions, hard patches on the palms, soles of the feet, hyperkeratosis, and these occur after a minimum exposure of approximately 5 years and may be a precursor to skin cancer. And even in addition to skin cancer, it may cause cancers of the bladder and lungs. So a lot of very, very dangerous diseases. How bad is it? Well, arsenic contamination of groundwater is widespread, and there's a number of regions which arsenic contamination of drinking water is significant. So this is a problem. 140 million people in 70 countries have been drinking water containing arsenic at levels above the WHO provisional guideline, and this is consistent with statistical modeling, which suggests 94 to 220 million people, that's a lot of people, that are at risk of exposure to elevated arsenic concentrations. So what's some prevention and control you can employ? Substitute high arsenic sources such as groundwater with low arsenic, microbiology safe sources such as rainwater and treated surf water. Discriminate between high arsenic and low arsenic sources. However, that will need professional third-party testing. Blend low arsenic water with higher arsenic water to achieve an acceptable arsenic concentration level. Install arsenic removal systems, either centralized or domestic. So those are some things you can do to prevent it. Overall, arsenic is dangerous, and it is a widespread problem. That's why it's always a good idea to have your water periodically tested for arsenic.